Jerusalem is a city located in the modern day Israel and is considered by many to be one of the holiest places in the world. Jerusalem is a site of major significance for the three largest monotheistic religions, Judaism, Islam, and Christianity. Both Israel and Palestine have claimed Jerusalem as a capital city because of three strong age-old associations, bloody conflict to control the city, and sites within it. It has been waged for thousands of years. Hi, this is Vivek Singh Rajput and you are watching Every Knowledge Worthy. Let's start with the history of Jerusalem. In 1000 BC, King David conquered Jerusalem and made it the capital of Jewish kingdom. His son Solomon built the first holy temple about 40 years later. The Babylonians occupied Jerusalem in 586 BC, destroyed the temple and sent the Jews into exile. About 50 years after that, the Persian king Cyrus allowed Jews to return to Jerusalem and rebuild the temple. Alexander the Great took control Jerusalem in 332 BC. Over the next several hundred years, the city was conquered and ruled by different groups including the Roman, Persians, Arabs, Fatimids, Seljuks, Turk, Crusaders, Egyptians, Mamluks, and Islamists. The Ottoman Empire ruled Jerusalem and much of the Middle East from about 1516 to 1917. After World War I, Great Britain took over Jerusalem, which was part of Palestine at the time. The British controlled the city and surrounding region until Israel became an independent state in 1948. Jerusalem was divided during the first 20 years of Israel's existence. Israel controlled the western portion of it while Jordan controlled eastern Jerusalem. After the 1967 Six-Day War, Israel seized all the Jerusalem. The Temple Mount is a compound located on the hills in Jerusalem that comprised of about 35 acres of land. It contains religious structures such as the Western Wall, the Dome of the Rock, and Al-Aqsa Mosque. Temple Mount is thought to be the third holistic site in Islam after Mecca and Medina in Saudi Arabia, and where Muslims believe the Prophet Muhammad ascended to heaven. Christians also believe the site is significant to their faith. It's the place that Prophet mentioned in the Old Testament of the Bible and was visited by Jews according to the New Testament. Since Israel's independence, clashes between Israelis and Palestinians over key territories in Jerusalem have been ongoing. Jewish law forbids Jews from praying in the Temple Mount, yet Israeli forces allow hundreds of Jewish settlers to enter the area routinely, which some Palestinians fear could lead to an Israeli takeover. In fact, one key event that led to the Second Palestinian Intifada, a Palestinian uprising against Israel, happened when Jewish leader Ariel Sharon, who would become Israel's prime minister, visited Jerusalem's Temple Mount in 2000. In recent years, some Israeli groups have even announced a plan to construct a third Jewish temple on the Temple Mount. This proposal has outraged Palestinians living in the region. In addition, both Israelis and Palestinians have aimed to make the city their capital. In 1980, Israel declared Jerusalem as its capital, but most of the international community doesn't recognize this distinction. In May 2017, Palestinian group Hamas presented a document that proposed the formation of Palestinian state with Jerusalem as its capital. However, the group refused to recognize Israel as a state, and Israeli government immediately rejected the idea. In July 2017, 3 Arabs shot 2 Israeli police officers at the Temple Mount in Jerusalem. For security reasons, the compound was cleared of visitors and closed for Muslim Friday prayers for the first time in 17 years. Protest and violent acts have shadowed this precarious situation. A defiant President Donald Trump has abruptly broken with decades of US foreign policy and officially recognized Jerusalem as Israel's capital in a move that sparked protests across the region and led to condemnation from around the globe.
But today we finally acknowledge the obvious, that Jerusalem is Israel's capital. This is nothing more or less than a recognition of reality. It is also the right thing to do.
Mr. Trump also instructed his State Department to begin the years-long process of moving the American embassy from Tel Aviv to the Holy City, calling the twin move a step to advance the peace process between Israel and the Palestinians. Thank you for watching this video.